What is it?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on the WAC Sports Digital Network. Brandon Crow alongside Melanie Osler. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Friday evening, coming to you live from Orem, Utah, on the campus of Utah Valley University, right nestled beneath the Wasatch Mountains. It's a crisp Friday evening. Game time temperatures about 56 degrees and will be dropping as the sun continues to set behind us in the west. Top dogs right now in the WAC conference. UMKC, the Roos, coming in their all whites with the blue trim, and Utah Valley trying to contend at the final home stretch towards that Western Athletic Conference tournament, which they will be hosting here, trying to vie for some better seeding and bragging rights nonetheless. And they are in their home pink fourth jerseys with the black trim. Melanie, you have played against this team many times, and you have seen its progress over the years with UMKC as Bremen Carter throws this ball down towards the byline, kicked into the box, an early opportunity just shy for Utah Valley.
That was a great effort by Sarah Collister, doing that little extra inch of sliding, trying to get the ball in towards the goal. Unfortunately, it did go wide of the goal, but that's what we need to see, that little edge from the team. They're working, they're moving the ball up, sending these balls in. Sometimes all you need is that little toe on the ball.
Afton Fenawald didn't quite clear that as much as she would hope to. And this one is touched out of play with Utah Valley throwing on the far side. And Melanie, this UMKC Roos team has really turned on the Jets and turned it into another gear this year. It's been a slow process, but Coach Sissel and company and UMKC, have done a fantastic job, and they are well above what many people thought they would be.
They always have been a very great team throughout the years, always a top contender in the WAC, but this year especially, they have put up a great fight and some really great acknowledgement that's come from this team with top rankings in the NCAA and undefeated in the WAC, and really trying to finish this three-game WAC play off strong. They haven't been able to win the conference tournament yet since they've been in the WAC, but you can see that each year they have that extra fight that is going to propel them to win the tournament.
Utah's leading goal scorer, Sadie Brockbank, with the foot on for Utah Valley. Dispossessed, maintained by the Roos. Utah Valley all-time matchup between UMKC. They lead one game. It's 5-4 in advantage for Utah Valley. Very evenly matched over the years. And Utah Valley trying to maintain their home field prowess, which they've become known for in this Western Athletic Conference tonight. And again, UMKC, like you mentioned, undefeated in WAC play, trying to continue that unbeaten streak heading into the conference tournament in just a few weeks. Sarah Collister, dispossessed. And UMKC almost like a machine. As soon as they get the ball, you see the players go into their positions automatically. No hesitation whatsoever.
Great discipline from each position, stretching the field, holding that space in their position like you're saying, that allows them to move it around UVU, and they know that they are going to have to put up a fight because of that Clyde field magic that you were mentioning before. We saw a little bit sneak peek of what UVU is capable of last Friday on this field of playing that great soccer, and so it is, again, like you said, each away team comes and knows it's going to be a battle, not because of the team playing extra good, but because of the team playing extra good because of the atmosphere that Clyde field brings. But they're going to keep that composure, containment, and work the ball into their attacking half.
You talked about that atmosphere. Normally, Utah Valley is known, especially on their men's side, here at Clyde Field, for having a raucous crowd. It is a little bit lighter tonight due to fall break. Fall break is a luxury that not every college has, but Utah Valley has fall break, and the students are away and have been for this week, and they should be coming back to their dorms or back to campus sometime this weekend. And UMKC has their first window of opportunity, really, to put some pressure on Sarah Davis, Lindley Brown, and that Utah Valley defense. There's a shot just wide to the left of Sarah Davis. Early on, 6-minute here in Orem, Utah, and Clyde Field. That was really the first shot from either team. And we look to see more of that, especially from the Roos.
Especially from the Roos, like you said, the shots on goal is one of those stats that they are ranked in the top 25 in the nation, and you'll see that if you give them the room, they're going to send it right in towards goal.
Lisa Stowe sends this one toward goal for Utah Valley. Looking for Brianna McCarter, and this one goes over the head and over the goal of Afton Fenewald. And Lisa Stowe and Brianna McCarter both get a well done and affirmation from their head coach, Chris LeMay. Fenewald with a deep kick, right in the center logo in the midfield marker. Trying to find a streaking player or two down the middle of the field, and now corralled and nestled deep within Rue possession. Here's a clever run. This one flicked off of Moore, and Sarah Davis scoops that one up with ease. Sadie Brockbank ever so deadly. And the UMKC Roos definitely know that. And anytime she touches the ball, there's at least 2 or 3 white shirts around her. She's got to act very quickly.
They are known for that high pressure, that quick pressure. It just shows their determination and the level that they've brought up as well. Of once they give the ball away, they're going to send 2-3 more players to put that extra pressure, to force that mistake, to force that bad touch, for them to corral the ball again and create that possession that they're so good at.
Madeline Moore, very easy to spot with those bright cleats. She has different colored cleats just about almost every game. And Lindley Brown, one of the steady seniors on this ball club. That gives way to the far side. Sarah Collister trying to use that trademark speed of hers. And that one tapped and kicked out of play. Lisa Stowe doing the honors, a two-handed throw-in. Trying to find Sadie Brockbank, and this one will be deflected. And a goal kick again for Seattle U and Afton Fenewald. A little bit of a different lineup, different personnel changes for Chris LeMay and company. Was just on this field just a week ago when Lexi Peterson, the super senior, became the WAC Offensive Player of the Week by scoring 2 fantastic goals. She was honored as one of the captains tonight, and I do believe she will definitely get some playing time. Yeah, here comes the Roos. Nice build up on the left-hand side of the pitch. There's a shot pulled just high, and over the outstretched arms of Sarah Davis. UMKC very meticulous, very methodical. They're feeling out Utah Valley, and so far they put together two nice touches. Couldn't quite capitalize in the back of the net. A very uncharacteristically bad pass and bad takeaway and touch by Hannah Bruce, which led to that missed opportunity by UMKC. Again, Sarah Davis corrals it. Moore, now to Brown. Brown upfield to Sadie Brockbank. Nice 1-2 passing. Good idea by Utah Valley. And good execution on the defensive side by shutting that down by UMKC. A souvenir for the fans. Will be a throw in by the Roos. Utah Valley trying to shake off a bad loss over the weekend Sunday in California against newly welcomed member of the conference, Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist is, to the ear, maybe a foreign or unknown name, but they are a very skilled team, and not just soccer, but in all the other athletic competitions that they will be pursuing here in this conference. And they've had a couple of decent wins this season.
They have definitely made their run for it in the WAC, contending with some of the best WAC opponents in the WAC, and it shows. They put a battle up against UMKC 1-0, and it just shows that all teams, once they hit the WAC, they're ready to run.
And UMKC are running right now, trying to string together a couple passes. Liz Mann gives way. Childers now for UMKC. Lots of space. Childers to Childers. Wilson. And this one kicked that away by Sullivan. Childers dances her way around a couple Utah Valley defenders down toward that byline. Swinging ball into the top of the box. Deflected away by Amber Tripp. Now here's Lisa Stowe. Lisa Stowe with the big boomer trying to find Sarah Collister in stride. Sarah Collister breaks free. Sarah Collister has some room. Sadie Brockbank to her left. She's trying to lay off ball for Sadie Brockbank. And this one deflected and kicked out of play by UMKC. The best build-up so far by Utah Valley in the first 12 minutes of this match.
It was another great long ball by Lisa Stowe, and probably her second or third of the game that has gone right to their teammates' feet. And the burst of speed, like you said, from Sarah Collister, that's the best you've seen so far this game, getting past the defender and using her speed, what she's best at.
Liz Mann with gazelle-like strides lays this one off. Still in play, however. Breema Carter to Hannah Bruce, and Hannah Bruce upfield. Sadie Brockbank, nice chested ball. Good composure, and this one kicked out of play. It will be a Utah Valley throw-in. Emma Wilson doing well to pester Brockbank. Bruce will lay this one back to Sullivan for Utah Valley. Breema Carter couldn't catch up to it. Now Brianna Hatch. Hatch lays it off for Hannah Bruce. Hannah Bruce with a nice fake out. Nice left boot. Upfield for Collister. And Collister couldn't quite get to it. Fenewald coming all the way from her box to fall on it. Past couple minutes, Utah Valley seems like they're starting to break that mold of the Kansas City defense.
They are. They're starting to be a little bit more creative, seeing what works best against UMKC's style of play and really finding those different ways to break them down. And we've seen a few times of them barely breaking the line, but soon we'll see the complete breakthrough.
Nice play by Sullivan laying out to save that one, as I do believe UMKC was behind the defense. Amber Tripp. Now Sadie Brockbank for Utah Valley. Good solid team defending by UMKC. Nice takeaway now by Amber Tripp. And booted all the way down into the corner. No Wolverine giving chase. And it'll be a goal kick by UMKC.
It's one of those moments that maybe Amber Tripp kind of assumed a little too much, assuming that Sarah Collister was on her side, expecting that speed to be played in. Something good, but she could do better at is taking that look up, seeing that Sarah Collister is not in that position. We don't have that speed on that side of the field, and to try something else.
Hannah Bruce. Lexi Howard falling very closely behind. Lexi Howard always very dangerous. Sarah Davis. And Lisa Stowe trying to keep this one in play. This one instead kicked out by UMKC. It will be a Wolverine goal kick by Sarah Davis. 16th minute, still 0-0. Neither team yet to have any threatening opportunity to force a goalkeeper to make any desperation saves. A couple quote-unquote close calls, but nothing too crazy so far for either team. Collister with some contact goes down. It'll be a free kick for the Wolverines, which they elect to take very quickly. Almost too quick, as referee Delvin Creighton says, let's come back and start this over again.
And maybe a good thing that he called it back, since the original kick went right out of bounds to the goal kick.
Wolverines trying to catch the ruse, and a little off guard. And now Sullivan. Sullivan sets up. Plays it on the ground to Sadie Brockbank. Brockbank not quick enough. Dispossessed by Hallie Hamilton. And eventually a goal kick. A missed opportunity for a set piece, which Utah Valley takes a lot of pride in, which they are almost known for with underneath head coach Chris LeMay. And I'm sure that they would like to have that one back.
Yeah, a different try, a different little style of a typical free kick, trying something new, going out wide, probably looking for that cross from Sadie Brockbank back into the box where her teammates were. But again, you saw after that Sadie Brockbank's disappointed look of, yeah, that didn't go as planned, but we'll try again. We'll keep them coming.
Players getting tangled up on the far side. Ball eventually goes out of play. Will be a UMKC throw-in. The last 4 matches between these two have been split. Utah Valley won back in 2014. And here comes UMKC. Nice layoff ball. Sarah Davis momentarily fell down. Good tying. Brianna McCarter was there to go ahead and kick that ball away.
And a great effort by center back Lindley Brown. Kind of caught herself a little too far from her paired center back, allowing that split for UMKC, and Lindley giving that extra stretch to prevent that through ball into the forward.
Lisa Stowe. This one flicked upfield. Bree McCarter trying to give as much chase as she can. And this will be a Utah Valley possession.
Again, another play where Bree Hatch maybe could have looked up, taken a look of who her outside wing was and where her outside wing was, of knowing that Bree McCarter was probably wanting it at her feet instead of chasing down and trying to beat her defender.
This one defended and cleared very well by UMKC. And UMKC has some numbers here. Here's the buildup by the Roos. Trying to create some space. One hopper right at Sarah Davis. Read that one perfectly. Hatch now more. Brockbank with a nice one touch. Flag stays down. Nice clear out, desperation clearance by Wilson for UMKC, and Utah Valley now starting to mix things up on the offensive side.
Yeah, another very great look by UVU. Beautiful ball played through. Both Bree and Amber were there, and unfortunately let that ball roll a little away from them instead of trying to get that final touch to send them in towards goal.
Brianna McCarter lays back to Hannah Bruce. This one too far for Hannah Bruce. And Sullivan there to try and clean it up. And Sullivan with a poor touch. And Moore gets tangled. And she will have a discussion with Delvin Creighton. And Creighton reaches into his pocket and pulls out a card. And the first booking of the evening comes in the 21st minute. And we'll go to Madeline Moore. It looks like Creighton is still having a little bit of conversation. Just want to make sure everybody's clear. And there's that free kick. And nobody home for UMKC, and that will go back to Sarah Davis with ease. A little collision. Now here's Hannah Bruce. Hannah Bruce and Lexi Howard. Now Sullivan. There's Lindley Brown for Utah Valley. Now Madeline Moore. Brianna McCarter with her hand raised on the left-hand side. Trying to play it through. A little bit too fast for Brianna McCarter. So far, a very evenly played match. Both teams have had decent looks. Lisa Stowe, again, likes to play it back to Sarah Davis. Sarah Davis becoming a security blanket for that back line of defense.
And doing a very good job at it. She's been in the right place at the right time and has kept that composure that she's been gaining throughout her 5 years here, and has really shown that she's grown and she's come to this level of completing those passes and being that security blanket back in the goal.
From a former defensive player's perspective, how important is that for you to know that you have a security blanket back there between the posts?
It is so important, more important than I can even say. It gives that extra comfort, that extra relaxation of, okay, the ball got behind me, but I know that someone is back there who will do what Sarah Davis just did, of coming out strong, clearing it, and making your mistakes not as bad as they could have been. It's a huge thing that defenders just love, when they know that they can rely on who's back behind them, cheering them on and protecting them.
Good ball movement now by UMKC. Good solid contact that time by Utah Valley. And this one will be headed out of play. And you played with your fair share of goalkeepers who are some of the best in the conference. And a lot of goalkeepers in your last couple years. And they all had very different styles, different characteristics. But one thing that would always maintain the same thing is that soccer IQ of knowing where to be and when to be there.
Exactly. It's something that really made all the difference. And they were there to help cheer you on. They were there to help you be an extra pair of eyes to see where your players were, and that soccer IQ, exactly like you mentioned.
24th minute here in Orem, Utah, on the campus of Utah Valley University. Thank you again for letting us be a part of your evening, your Friday evening. I know there are lots of other things you could be doing, and we're grateful to have you with us here during this WAC sports competition. This one laid off for Sarah Davis, Utah Valley, and UMKC knotted up at 0 at the moment. Both teams looking for a breakthrough. UMKC in their all white with the blue trim. Utah Valley in their pink tops with the black bottoms.
UVU right now is doing a really good job at just holding the ball, shutting the other team down, keeping that composure, and it's something that they've done very well throughout the whole season of holding these tough teams, holding them scoreless and keeping that possession. But unfortunately, it's safe to say that they've lost a few games from holding back too much and not trying to create those scoring opportunities to get them on the board. So I'd love to see UVU hold it, keep shutting them down, but finding those opportunities to hurry and quick counter and against UMKC while they're on their toes and get the ball in the back of the net.
You just saw Utah Valley and Hannah Bruce trying to do that with that free kick, trying to take that very quickly, which she did. Solid piece of defending. It's Friday, it's a little chilly, and my lips aren't as loose as they usually are. I beg your pardon. Wilson, however, from the ground, gives way to UMKC's offense. Nice layoff down the right-hand side, down towards that byline, swinging across towards the top. Ball still inside the box. Sarah Davis with the save. Still alive, however, Utah Valley trying to clear it out. There is a UMKC Roo that is down, and the referee finally signals time. And she is up on her own power, which is always good to see. It looked like they were looking at her head, trying to get a number, and as soon as we do get that, we'll get that information out to you. And I do believe it looks like it was Kelsey Mother's head who was the one who had the collision and went down holding her head. And she looks a little bit shaken up as she walks over to the sideline. And anytime there is a head injury, the referees and coaching staffs, athletic trainers, they never want to let something like that go unchecked. And so anytime there is one, player has to come out in the referee's discretion for the quote-unquote evaluation, which it did indeed look like Kelsey Mother's head was trying to signify to her coaching staff. She said that she was okay, but she had to come off nonetheless. Handball is called in favor of Utah Valley. Mother's head elects to go back into the ball game very quickly. Utah Valley corner. The third corner already of this match. First for Utah Valley. Sullivan. Kick towards the box and wide right. Utah Valley really not taking their time on these set pieces. They're trying to do something different, like you mentioned, Melanie, trying to catch the Roos off guard. I don't know if it's something that they have seen in game film or whatnot, but it's very uncharacteristic for Utah Valley to not take their time on a set piece.
Yeah, it's one of those moments in the game where you kind of have to play it by ear. Maybe once or twice, a few times, catch them off guard, play the quick ball while they're not ready. But sometimes you got to analyze the situation a little bit, make sure you have that helping hand on ball, few players back post to follow those balls up and create an even better opportunity. So it is something very uncharacteristic, but maybe it is something that Coach LeMay has seen of them maybe being too slow of setting up and playing defense, and so he's told them to play it quick and catch it off guard. But it would be nice for them to analyze it a little bit better to see who they could play to and to create that better opportunity.
Whitney Paskins, who checks into the game for Utah Valley for Brianna McCarter, quickly gets that ball back into play with a two-handed throw. This one kicked out of play by UMKC. And Sadie Brockbank is the intended target. Now Paskins, the ball at her feet. Sees this one go out of play. It'll be another throw-in for the Wolverines as we approach the half-hour mark of the match. About 16 minutes and some change left in this first half. Delvin Creighton has a few words with Sadie Brockbank and Emma Wilson. Hannah Bruce now with the throw-in, trying to find Sadie Brockbank with a crease. And this one kicked high and out of play by the Roos. Another throw-in awaiting by Utah Valley, and finally trying to find Sadie Brockbank. Whitney Paskins again the intended target, and this one kicked out of play for another Utah Valley throw-in. Hannah Bruce to Amber Tripp, lays it back to Bruce. Good one-time opportunity. Amber Tripp trying to create some space. And Amber Tripp fires a shot just wide left.
A great opportunity and a beautiful look by Amber Tripp, doing what she does best, of kind of exactly what you were saying, taking her time, getting the better opportunity, moving the ball across the field, inching for that better shot, and once she's got that inch room, just firing a shot that if it was an inch more in towards the goal, it would have been a beautiful placed ball for a goal.
Utah Valley with a little bit more swagger now after that shot, knowing that they actually can get close. Sent it towards the box. Headed away now. Nice poke away by Hannah Bruce, who was just able to get a toe on it. 31st minute, still no score in the first half. Top dog UMKC and Utah Valley. Hannah Bruce trying to get possession. Nice defense by Kelsey Mothershead. Good outfield pass to Sampson. Sampson split in the defense with the one touch. Childers dispossessed. Now Moore lays it back to Davis. And another sub about ready to check in for Utah Valley with Lakin Flinders. Amber Tripp. Now Sullivan. Sullivan with the boot upfield. Trying to find Sadie Brockbank. Sadie Brockbank can't connect with the head. Good ball movement now. Mothershead for UMKC. Mothershead with some room. Good closing tackle by Hannah Bruce. Gives way for Lindley Brown to boot this one upfield. Wilson. Good ball movement. Wilson to Childers. Amber Tripp trying to play some solid defense. Tracking. After a flurry of Utah Valley possessions and opportunities, UMKC was well on their way until they got dispossessed. And now a free kick in a very dangerous spot for Utah Valley. And we'll see what Utah Valley and the Wolverines elect to do here.
Yeah, this is enough distance away from the goal that freshman Megan Sullivan can analyze the situation, get those numbers in towards the box, and something that she does very well is sending those beautiful balls in, creating those opportunities for that second ball towards goal.
Sullivan taking her time, waiting for the official. Finally gets a signal. Sullivan trying to swing this one toward the back post. The ball is down inside the box and trickles away. And that was deflected off of Utah Valley. And it'll be a goal kick. And Lakin Flinders will check in for Brianna Hatch. And Carly Janicki will check in for Emma Wilson for the Roos. The 34th minute here in Orem, Utah and Clyde Field. Utah Valley holding their ground against top seed UMKC in the WAC. Just a few weeks left until the conference tournament, which will be held right here on this very field. And Utah Valley trying to earn a better spot heading into that final home stretch. Sarah Davis, nice and easy, cool and composed. Lays it off for Sullivan. Sullivan to the near side, and Hannah Bruce. Sadie Brockbank. Team's leading scorer hasn't had a shot opportunity yet.
Not yet, but again, she's one of those players that you can never relax on, because once you relax, she'll turn and take a shot from anywhere on the field.
Sullivan to the near side, and Paskins. Paskins just past that midfield marker. Now back to Sullivan. Sullivan with the left boot, trying to find Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp on her horse, trying to get there. Amber Tripp gets the ball back for Utah Valley. Had a shot opportunity. Deflected away. Now Lakin Flinders. Flinders trying to create some space. Paskins doing the same. Paskins with a shot! And a punch save by Fenewald. The best shot of the night for either team so far. And a great save by Fenewald to keep the score even at 0.
It's what Whitney Paskins does best, of keeping that composure, going under UMKC's radar, but floating into those open spaces and trying to get that ball to turn and fire those shots. And a beautiful save by UMKC.
Utah Valley we see taking more time on this corner kick. This one swung in toward the box. Bodies were there, just barely missed, as that one was on target.
Again, by Whitney Paskins. The moment she's came in, you could see that burst of energy of that attack up the field and the attack towards goal. Something that you can see as from the second leading scorer for the UVU team.
Ryan Burnett checks in for Kelsey Mothershead for UMKC. The Roos trying to get some fresh legs towards the final minutes of this first half, as we're in the 37th minute to be exact. Less than 10 minutes to play in the first half, and Coach Sissel will elect to send a couple more fresh legs in at the next opportune moment. In the meantime, Utah Valley with ball in UMKC territory after putting together a couple shots, trying to play defense now. And Brown with the big boot. Amber Tripp with lots of room. Corrals it with patience. Far side now for Lakin Flinders, who has acres of space. Flinders dances around the ball, and she tries to have a left shot. That one deflected. Good layoff ball by UMKC in stride, and a little bit too much pace. Lexi Howard was onside, flag stayed down. And another Roos substitution. Ruth Feander will check in. And Amanda Sampson will take a breather and step off. When Chris LeMay puts together these preseason, pre-conference schedules, almost a juggernaut schedule from the outsider's perspective that Utah Valley's had the past couple seasons, it's meant for games like this. It's meant for these Utah Valley Wolverines to be unafraid in the face of top dog competition like UMKC coming into their own house deep in the season.
That's exactly what his purpose is, and it has been paying off. It has been working, and he's done a very good job at it of creating that atmosphere and that pressure on the girls of, hey, this game is a huge game, but we've done it before. We've played against some even more powerhouse of teams, and we can contend with them. We can get the ball in the back of the net, and we can come away from the game with a result. And so he's not afraid to add that pressure, and he's not afraid to add the pressure towards the team. I know I was talking to a girl yesterday who said that he was just prepping them all week. They haven't lost a conference game in 2 years. They haven't lost a conference game in 2 years, really building that pressure for them to embrace and take advantage of and play to their level.
And there's that super senior Lexi Peterson about to check in for Utah Valley, should they have an opportunity to do so. UMKC now towards the byline, kept in play. Now see if they can get a cross off. UMKC with some time. Childers now creates her own space, dodges a couple defenders, still with possession this time. Dispossessed by Lindley Brown and company. Sadie Brockbank trying to find Sarah Collister. Collister on her horse, slide tackle. And that will be Utah Valley throw-in. 40th minute. And Sadie Brockbank will step off as Lexi Peterson comes in with that captain's armband. And we've seen what spark Whitney Paskins has brought. We'll see what type of spark Lexi Peterson, which Spark seems to be her middle name, will bring to the Wolverines.
Exactly. Them together on that lineup is so dangerous, and I love seeing it. Both girls, especially Lexi Peterson, bringing that energy and that feistiness out on the field of wanting that goal hungry and win hungry, and she is one of the best competitors I know.
A good ball by UMKC, this time stepped in front of by Sullivan and more. Now Lindley Brown, 41st minute here in Orem, Utah still scoreless. A pair of great saves by both keepers, keeping it that way. On the offensive side, however, for either team, slow to get going. Lakin Flinders for Utah Valley. Winnie Paskins. Now we'll kick out of play. And some last-ditch substitutions as we finalize this first half. Amber Tripp will step off. Collister will step off. Amanda Mangelson checks on. As well as Haley Atwater for Utah Valley.
Two very well-deserved rests for Collie and Amber Tripp. Both played so hard up on that front line, running and giving it their all. And so it'll be a great opportunity for them to get a little extra longer break from half and coming out with fresh legs second half ready to give it their all again.
Lakin Flinders. There is Atwater. Atwater with a nice touch, trying to find Lexi Peterson, who goes down. 44th minute. UMKC. Howard trying to catch up to it. Good closeout speed. Dispossessed, however. Howard. Brown coming in from behind. And that'll be a very, very quick yellow card for Lindley Brown.
Yeah, a pretty dangerous play by Lindley Brown, losing the ball, kind of coming from behind trying to get the ball. Luckily, it's right outside the box and not any closer to the box, or it would have been a PK.
We saw the Utah Valley men's team score from this distance, but just on the opposite side of the box last night. Very dangerous spot for the Wolverines to be in. And we will see what happens here. UMKC with an opportunity to tack on the game's first goal right before the first half expires. 44th minute. Here's the ball played in through. And this one goes past the keeper, just wide. And head referee Delvin Creighton said that that was tipped, and it will be another UMKC corner on the opposite side.
We've seen it in games past on BVU where these final last few minutes in the half unfortunately go against them, and it's those minutes in the games that you have to protect everything and give it your all and get the ball out.
There's a swing in towards the top of the box, headed down. This time, nobody home for UMKC, kicked out of play. And another throw-in for UMKC, and they elect to take that very quickly. Good swarming defense by Utah Valley, kicked out of play. And the Wolverines will breathe a sigh of relief. Clock continues to tick. UMKC with the ball. Just about 20 seconds left in the first half. UMKC trying to get a dagger right before the break. And that ball played, still in. Headed away by Sullivan. Hannah Bruce with the boot. And that will do it. That will end the first half. Solid from both teams. A couple saves from either goalkeeper, Sarah Davis and Finnewald, but really nothing crazy on either team.
No, nothing too crazy at all. Both teams did a very good job at maintaining possession, building, keeping strong defense, and like you said, lacking that little bit of extra creativity in the attack, getting those opportunities for a solid chance on goal.
Well, Utah Valley goes into the break, and they can hold their heads high, know that they are tied with the top seed and the top dog in the conference in UMKC. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with second half action from Orem, Utah, and Clyde Field right after this. Halftime score, UMKC 0, Utah Valley 0. First 45 minutes are down in the books, and the last 45 minutes of regulation begins now here at Clyde Field in Orem, Utah, on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Melanie Osler with you. Undefeated UMKC Roos, and they're all whites in the blue trim. Nice back heel to open things up by Howard. Mothershead, quick penetration in the box. Mothershead keeping her composure right at Sarah Davis. And what a way to start the second half by the Roos.
Probably just the way they wanted to start after that halftime talk of, guys, we got to get going. We got to put some pressure on the defensive line of UVU and get somewhat of an opportunity. And that's exactly what they did right off the bat.
Foul called against Sarah Collister, it looks like. It'll be a free kick for UMKC. Temperature continuing to drop, but luckily for UMKC, it gets cold where they are too. So they're used to it. And as the night continues to deepen, it'll be interesting to see how the moisture affects this pitch, as we just barely saw a couple players almost bite the dust. That time it was Hallie Hamilton by UMKC slipping and sliding with her studs.
Yeah, Clydefield definitely has its perks, but I think the slippery grass with the Utah level weather as it gets colder is definitely a con to it. Lots of people slip time after time.
And we mentioned and touched on in the first half, UMKC and Utah Valley, their series history. In Utah Valley again, going back to 2015, Utah Valley beat Kansas City 1-0 on October the 2nd. And November 6th, they beat them 2-0. And then October 22nd of 2016, Utah Valley defeated Kansas City 6-2. You were a part of that team. And then last year, Kansas City came up big and beat Utah Valley 3-0. So this is the 10th time that these teams will be meeting and have met on the pitch. Utah Valley again with that 5-4 lead, game advantage. Very evenly coached, evenly played over the course of the past several years, where these two teams have been foes between the lines.
It's true. It's always that breaking point of matchup of UVU or UMKC, which two are going to go to the championship of the WAC tournament, and it always has been neck and neck, and it's a battle no matter what. And as you can see, one year UVU could beat them 6-2, but then the next UMKC can come back and beat them 3-0. So it's a battle. It's a game that everybody looks forward to. Probably one of the funnest games that I always looked forward to playing UMKC, of that great matchup and that great game of soccer that it comes with.
No bad blood necessarily, but there are some things sometimes in competition when you know that the other team always brings it. It does, from a competitive standpoint, bring a smile to your face, knowing that it's just going to be a fun game, knowing that this is how it's supposed to be.
Exactly, and this is what it's been tonight. You see those couple matchups where it's been a clean matchup, but just that excitement and that competition that most of these girls live for, and why they love competing at the D1 level the most.
Lily Brown. Taking her time, trying to find Sadie Brockbank between the defenders. Sadie Brockbank goes down. UMK trying to manipulate their way through the defense. This one cleared away. Sarah Collister is onside. Flag stays down. She continues to gain momentum and get in her zone. Dances around the ball, goes towards that byline, and is dispossessed. Solid defensive dark arts tactics by UMKC.
Yeah, that was a great play by defense from the UMKC's defense, knowing that Sarah Collister is that speedster on the wing, and being able to delay her, keeping her in front of her, not letting her take that touch around her. And that second that Sarah did try to take that touch around her, separating herself from the ball, and Sarah Collister preventing her from making that move on her. Very great play by defensive Hallie Hamilton.
Childers. Hamilton. Childers. Childers. Good communication by Utah Valley. Sadie Brockbank has Brianna McCarter too fast for Brianna McCarter, and Wilson will corral that easily for UMKC and get it out of the danger zone. Howard, the intended target. Now Hannah Bruce with possession for Utah Valley. And it'll be a Wolverine throw-in. Sadie Brockbank with the flick, trying to find Brianna McCarter. Utah Valley possession nonetheless. Hannah Bruce goes down. And a late whistle. Be a free kick for Utah Valley.
Utah Valley doing a great job at getting the ball right back after they may have made a bad pass or a poor mistake. Something that they were lacking first half of giving it right to UMKC and allowing UMKC to take it down their throats. They've really shown that fight of...
There's a bending ball in towards the box. Amber Tripp trying to get the toe poke on it. Finwald does great job to keep that one away momentarily. That was a great look from Sadie Brockbank on the outside with the curler.
That moment of not relaxing on her like we were talking about gave her a little pressure outside the box wherever she hits that, sending that dangerous ball in towards the goal.
52nd minute here in Orem, Utah still scoreless between UMKC and Utah Valley. Utah Valley leading in the category of yellow cards, however. One of the few categories Utah Valley leads in this game. Shots category and shots on goal being led by the Roos. Amber Tripp with a quick throw in. Try to find Lisa Stowe. Good ball movement by Utah Valley. And that one eventually will go out of play. And it'll be a goal kick for the Roos.
A great job by Sarah Collister, Amber Tripp, and Lisa Stowe creating that triangle, giving those angles of those quick 1-2 touches away from that pressure in that small space, and almost getting a reward off of it, but not quite.
Good ball movement and ball control by the Roos. Eventually given away, however. Good flick on ball by Sarah Collister with the intention to go to Sadie Brockbank. And UMKC with the defense, Lisa Stowe, who I don't think gets enough credit for what she does in her position. She is all over the place, very multi-talented on this Wolverine team.
She doesn't, you're correct. She is such a fighter out there and shows great composure on that outside back position, getting back, going up, creating those scoring opportunities, preventing the scoring opportunities. She is a one and done deal with everything in one.
Sarah Collister goes down, lots of heavy contact. A whistle is blown. And Devlin Creighton signaling for a free kick for Utah Valley. And this could be the break that Utah Valley has been looking for so far in this match. And we'll see Sullivan will be the one to do the honors. Fenewald directing her team. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan with the in-swinger. And this one bounces straight through the box. Kick back toward goal. Fenewald with another save. I do believe that was Amber Tripp again with a toe poke. Fenewald making yet another save.
A great defensive effort and showing so much heart on their defensive side of the UMKC, of showing us why they are undefeated in WAC play and why they haven't been beaten yet.
And a miscommunication between Brianna Hatch and Hannah Bruce. One thought was one going the other way, the other thought the other was going the other way.
Yeah, and as you can see, those are the opportunities you don't want those miscommunications to come from, and you need to take the opportunities of the set pieces, because in the most crucial moments of games, set pieces are what's going to set teams apart, and that's going to put one team ahead of the other, is who can capitalize on those opportunities and put those set pieces in the back of the net.
Lisa Stowe, Amber Tripp. And that ball goes all the way out, and it will be a throw-in favor of the Roos. Physicality starting to increase a little bit as the clock continues to tick. 56th minute. Lisa Stowe again continuing to keep that ball in play for Utah Valley, and Sarah Collister. Hannah Bruce on the far side. And that ball sails off of Hannah Bruce's boot out of play. Will be a throw in for the Roos. Brianna McCarter doing well to use her body to win position. Good ball on the near side, trying to find Sarah Collister. Collister is able to come up with it. Collister penetrates the box using that speed. Burst down to the sideline. Right in front of the box. Nobody home to poke it through. Still alive. Swung it towards the box again. Opportunity after opportunity for Utah Valley. Unable to rattle the cage, however.
Two beautiful balls by two different players on the wing, just needing that extra effort we were talking about from the very beginning of the game of Sarah Collister's slide, getting that toe, especially when it's skimming right across the goal line of that extra inch right in towards goal.
Solid defense again by Utah Valley. '58th minute. As we come close to that hour mark in this match. It'll be a long throw in for UMKC. Headed away by Lisa Stowe very quickly. And the ball boys on either side have had a lot of exercise tonight. Be another corner kick. Lots of pink inside the box. There's the in-swinger to the near post. Nothing doing there as that goes right into the side netting. Whitney Paskins, one of the spark plugs for Utah Valley, is set to check into the match at the next opportune moment. And I believe she wanted to go in right after that corner was missed. Sadie Brockbank gets dispossessed. Now here's Mothershead. Mothershead with the layoff. Childers. Nice back heel layoff, sent towards the box, right at Sarah Davis.
Easy, calm, collected catch from Sarah Davis, something that she has developed and read and done very well at.
Lindley Brown. Amber Tripp mistimed header. This one deflected down. Childers now to Howard. Childers. Good swinging ball into the goal. Right, kept out by Sarah Davis. Sarah Davis, it looked like lost her footing right at the last second, and she had enough body positioning to keep herself and that ball from trickling fully into the back of the net. I'm sure if we had VAR, the Coach Sissel would want to take a look at that. It was pretty close.
It was a very close look, a great shot by UMKC.
Here's a good flick on Sarah Collister. Flag stays down. Collister with another block, again by Fennewald. Point blank save.
Fiddlewall with another beautiful save, showing us a reason why she is also top 25 in the amount of saves that she's made per game, and really coming out with some huge saves this game.
Amber Tripp with the layoff. This one swung in toward the far post and too far. And that'll go out of play for a goal kick. And that'll give way for Whitney Paskins to come in for Utah Valley.
Both teams really bringing the heat in the middle parts of the game, or middle parts of the half right now, really showing that they want that goal, and that very close call by UMKC, and then right off of that, the counter with Sarah Collister's quick speed, just showing the great matchup of the two teams.
Paskins checks in for Brianna McCarter, and as soon as Paskins gets in, she is like a magnet to that ball. Sadie Brockbank intercepts. And the pressure is being applied by the Pink Ladies. Handball is called against Winnie Paskins. Excuse me, that's Sarah Collister, I beg your pardon. Madeline Moore, Lindley Brown had the ball ping pong off of each other. Still in play, falls at Childress' feet. Childers now to Howard on the far side. Howard dispossessed momentarily by Bruce. Bruce keeps it in play. Not enough, however, and it'll be a throw-in for the Roos. And that ball goes out of play, and that'll give way for Lakin Flinders. Another senior to check in. And she comes on for Brianna Hatch.
Another burst of speed that is going to really be used to UVU's advantage with Lakin Flinders. Her and Sarah Collister together can run for days, and other teams have a very hard time with keeping up with them. So if we could see both of their speeds bursting and creating those opportunities, we'll see an exciting goal coming up.
Sarah Collister corrals that. Sadie Brockbank trying to one-time back to Collister. Lisa Stowe with the boot on it, sends this one towards goal. Lakin Flinders. Ball still bouncing around inside Rue territory. Mother's Head, as Stowe falls, turns around and now has a burst of speed.
Yeah, Lisa Stowe going a little too hard on that play. Maybe coming out as hard as she did, but containing, keeping them in front, getting that back foot defending in. Allowing Mothershed to not speed right past her.
Yeah, this one swinging towards the top of the post. Headed away. A reset now on the near side. Mothershed. 1v1 Lindley Brown. Lindley Brown steps in front, dispossesses, shields her off, and kicks it out of play. Lindley Brown very upset.
Thought it got that deflection for a UVU throw-in.
There's a shot right at Sarah Davis and a diving save. Two-handed punch. Call that the Hawaiian punch save by Sarah Davis. Full spread, two-handed fister. And a great curling shot that time by Liz Mann.
Both keepers really coming out strong this second half, and both attacking teams really bringing the heat with their shots, having to create those amazing saves that we've now seen from both goalies.
There's the in-swinger, headed up, away from goal. UMKC still has possession. '66th minute. No substitutions yet inside for UMKC.
That is one thing that UVU can use to their advantage. You look at the subs last half, and it was the first half, and so you use them more sparingly, but UMKC fouled or subbed 3 times compared to UVU's 5 times. UVU loves to use their depth with their team on the bench and really use those fresh legs, and so it is an advantage that UVU has to be able to trust that many players to come in and make the impact like they do.
Hannah Bruce with the burst of speed into the box. Trying to find Sarah Collister. This one bounces around, eventually kicked all the way out to Sullivan. Sullivan with the left boot. Hannah Bruce down the side. Collister sets up with the left boot of her own in toward the box. Great ball. Now this gives way for an opportunity for a counter. Mother's Head, lots of speed, being trailed. And a little bit too strong with that as Sarah Davis comes out to corral it.
A great job by UVU's defense. You saw freshman Madeline Moore working as fast as she could to get from that 6th position to become one of the part of the back line to replace Lisa, and it really paid off. Getting the numbers in behind the ball is what matters most.
Great composure by Lindley Brown. She dispossesses and was almost very hesitant. She got that, and she could have gone to feel more pace, but she is almost assuming that there was a whistle going to be coming.
Yeah, something that you do need to anticipate of. Once you make that big save and step and get into that space, go with it with pace. Move the ball up the field as fast as you can.
There's Paskins, who's always deadly from that range. Sarah Collister now, she's going to turn and fire. This one, very innocent for Fenewald. 68th minute. As the time continues to increase, so does the intensity. You almost get the feeling now, instead of if, it's almost a matter of when a goal for either team is going to break through.
It is that time of game, and it is true, especially after seeing the few opportunities we've seen from both teams of when it's going to happen, and just that tense feeling that both teams need to really learn how to anticipate and control that feeling of it could be either team.
Lisa Stowe getting a talking to. Free kick, UMKC. Childers, great touch. This one's still in play for the Roos. Mother's Head with Lisa Stowe. Mother's Head goes to her right. Mother's Head fires a shot right at Sarah Davis in the corner. Amber Tripp trying to find Whitney Paskins. Whitney Paskins. Good tackle there by Lakin Flinders. Very quick to get back on the other way are the UMKC Roos. Sampson, lay off to Howard. Howard with a nice one touch. Childers, edge of the box. Dancing around, keeping her composure, and again, right at Sarah Davis.
Another dangerous opportunity by Roos. They are knocking on the door, but again, UVU defense really showing that they're going to put up that fight, keeping that composure, keeping their defensive shape so well, and once it's time to come, they pounce on it and block the ball from going any further.
Sampson, Childers. Childers again. Howard in the box. Booted away by Sullivan. Sadie Brockbank harassing Fenwald there. Now Sampson. Mothershead. Mothershead going 1v1. Whitney Paskins coming. And Lisa Stowe is slow to get up as she got tangled up with Mothershead. And that's not the first time that those two have gotten tangled up. Again, this intensity flaring. And as you already seen, Lisa Stowe with that right hand bandaged up, almost as if Mothershead was trying to, like a boxer, seeing somebody favor their injured side. Miscommunication. It was originally awarded to UMKC, now it's Utah Valley ball. 72nd minute. Whitney Paskins gets a foot on it, a toe on it. Lakin Flinders, good one touch to get by the defender. Lakin Flinders dispossessed. And the Roos bouncing back the other way. Hannah Bruce kicks this one out of play.
A great play by Hannah Bruce. Sometimes that is the best option to do, of seeing the team getting a little slow, getting back and helping the defensive line. And so clearing it out into safety, clearing it for a throw-in to give their team a chance to get back, and so they could continue with the team defense that they do so well at.
Solid piece of defending there by Childers. Moore. And another whistle is blown, this one away from the ball. Brianna McCarter set the check back in for Utah Valley. Paskins playing chase. Nice through ball by UMKC. Smelled out very quickly though by Utah Valley. Lisa Stowe with the big boot upfield. Cleared away momentarily. 73rd minute. Very dangerous ball. Mistimed opportunity by Childers. She was leaning to her right instead of trying to lean to her left, and that ball was played perfectly.
Exactly. That was a beautiful ball and a beautiful opportunity. I think the accidental deception from Lindley Brown helped a little bit of Lindley thinking that she'd be able to step and win the ball, but not being able to. Kind of threw off UMKC's forward to throw her off a little bit and get tricked, and thought it wasn't going to go through.
Lisa Stowe wins it back for Utah Valley. Howard wanting a foul call. Now Whitney Paskins with the ball. Paskins heading towards that byline, gets a shove off the ball. Brianna Hatch, no touch there. And Brianna McCarter will check in for Utah Valley. And she'll check in for Sarah Collister. Lisa Stowe trying to find more. And this one falls right back to the feet of Sadie Brockbank. Sadie Brockbank burns her defender down the side. Solid defensive skills there by Sipola. Stowe wins it again. '75th minute. It's about 15 minutes left to play in regulation. Still 0-0. Both teams itching for a breakthrough. Both teams giving it their all to try and keep this scoreless.
Yeah, you can really see the resilience from both teams of just sacrificing everything, reaching, throwing their body, playing with that heart that sometimes overrules the mind of the players and really shows that desire to win and the passion to win, and showing that the game is very important leading into the home stretch of WAC play.
Another good ball. Childers cuts to her right. Childers with the shot and a two-handed tip into the back of the net. UMKC finds the breakthrough, and the Roos go up 1-0 over Utah Valley.
It's the space that they need to close down a little bit. You can relax a little bit, but once they're in that shooting range, you need to close down that space, preventing that shot. But a beautiful goal and a beautiful opportunity that we've been feeling coming all half.
Childers breaks it through and gives UMKC the 1-0 lead in the 76th minute. Now Utah Valley trying to get a goal just to tie it back up. But the Roos looking like they do not want to keep stopping. And there's another opportunity. Ball bouncing around. Sarah Davis comes out of her goal spot, and another opportunity missed by UMKC. Empty net as Sarah Davis came out, and that one went wide left. And Utah Valley can breathe a sigh of relief that it's not 2-0.
I've said it before and I'll say it again of how crucial the 5 minutes are right after any team scores. It's that moment that you really need to give it your all, to not relax and to not give up, because both teams get that burst of energy they need after any goal in the game.
78th minute. Free kick taken very quickly by UMKC. Utah Valley trying not to let that one goal break their backs here in the final 15 minutes. UMKC still trying to apply that pressure, keep their feet on the throttle. Wilson with the layoff. This one sent in towards the box. Nobody home on the backside. Mothershead wishes she had that one back.
It's those one-touch strikes, though, that are so dangerous, especially in that spot on the field of the ball coming across about before the UVU defense can shift over and put that initial pressure on you, sending that one touch towards goal and getting them while they're not expecting it or out of place.
Somehow that ball flirting with that line stayed in for as long as it could before going out of play. Utah Valley throw in. I beg your pardon, that was UMKC throw in. Still Roo possession. 79th minute. Lexi Peterson enters the game for Utah Valley. And 4 other Wolverines are set to check in at the next opportune moment. Hamilton, very smooth. Can't connect with Childers. Amanda Mangelson, Sarah Collister, Whitney Paskins, and Juliana Carter check in for Lisa Stowe, Sadie Brockbank, Lakin Flinders, and Madeline Moore. I beg your pardon, it was Lexi Peterson who came out. Sadie Brockbank just came to the sideline to get some coaching from her head coach, Chris LeMay.
Yeah, UVU with the bunch of subs that we just subbed in, you can see that they kind of made a little change in their formation, going for more of a 3-back formation to get at those numbers up in the attack that they can, to hopefully, in hopes, to score the tying goal.
Layoff ball. Lily Brown finally steps up. She lays off for Tara Collister. Collister cuts to her left. Collister taken down. Referee signals play on. Lindley Brown for Utah Valley trying to play it back through Collister. Now Mothershead. Mothershead flag stays down. Can she get up to it? She does. Mothershead cuts to her right. She has time. She has space. Deflected by Sullivan. Good closing defense by Sullivan as Mothershead looked like she had a clear shot on goal. '82nd minute, less than 8 minutes to play in regulation. Utah Valley clamoring, trying to find at least one goal. UMKC trying to stave off Utah Valley's attack. Swinging towards that far post. Childers, the goal scorer, poised and ready for another. Lays it off. Another shot on goal, this one high and wide. Third minute, time continuing to tick away. Brianna Hatch looking to make a big boot call down for Sarah Collister. Juliana Carter now with it. Carter back to Lindley Brown. Sullivan sent this one upfield. Brianna McCarter, her intended target. Whitney Paskins had it momentarily. Excuse me, Amanda Mangelson, I beg your pardon. And a handball is called. Childers in disbelief. Hannah Bruce ready to take it.
A great opportunity for UVU, especially with how many players they are throwing up in the attack and putting in the box. And hopefully one of them can crash the goal, make their specific run to get that piece of the ball they need to get it in towards the goal.
Sullivan sent this one in towards the box, headed up in the air. Hannah Bruce trying to find it. Tensions continuing to flare. And the assistant coach for UMKC will get his first booking. Associate coach Jeff Cole was yelling and getting into it with, it looked like Hannah Bruce. So the third yellow card issued in the match. 2 for Utah Valley players, 1 for associate coach and UMKC. Devlin Creighton waiting for things to calm down a little bit before resuming play. Lindley Brown on her way up, touched it with her hand and gives way for a free kick for Utah Valley. Still in a dangerous position by UMKC. The Roos trying to add on one more goal and potentially take the wind out of the sails for Utah Valley's hopes of coming back into this game.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of the frustration coming out in the UVU players with these latter minutes of the game of being down a goal and not really being able to control that, and just something you need to keep doing until the whistle blows, of fighting, controlling those emotions, controlling those frustrations, and use them to propel you to get the goal and do the good stuff of soccer.
'86th minute. Lindley Brown in the 86th minute sends this one towards the top of the box, headed up in the air, still dangerous territory. Utah Valley trying to come away with it. And this one gathered up by Fennewald. Fennewald, one of the main MVPs tonight for UMKC. She has made her share of great saves in between the posts.
She definitely has. One of the reasons why UMKC is in the lead right now, and blocking shot after shot and denying those great opportunities from UVU's offensive line.
'87th minute. Time is of the essence for Utah Valley at the moment.
Really trying to rely on their long balls and speed. You can see that they have their wingers, Sarah Collister out wide and Amanda Mingleson on the other, just timing their runs, waiting and anticipating that long ball, and right when it's kicked, a beautifully timed run, trying to get in behind the defensive line for a breakaway.
This one headed in towards the box. Brianna McCarter has a touch on it. Another solid piece of defending by UMKC. Brianna McCarter looked like she had the angle. Now the Roos look like they have numbers. Flag stays down. Eventually the flag goes up. Instead of the 12th fan or the 12th man, it looked like they had probably about close to the 100th man yelling.
A very good disciplined action by the UVU's defensive line, something that you have to be very disciplined while you play with that many people in the defensive line, preventing those breakaways. You do not want to have any through balls behind the two defenders, or it's automatically a breakaway. So a great disciplined action by UVU's defensive line.
Hannah Bruce steps in front. Watch this one go out of play. And a quick throw in by Utah Valley. 88th minute. Lindley Brown sends this one in toward the box. And a one-hopper right to the keeper. Fennewald, as cool as you like.
You can see that now they have pushed Lindley Brown up more in the attack, so UVU is playing with those 2 defenders right in the back, trying to get the
nice
rest of
flick.
them in.
Sarah Collister trying to get that closing speed, and Fenewald again comes up and snatches it.
You'd like to hope that UVU is knocking on the door with those great flicks with the runs on into the behind into the defensive line of the UMKC.
Sadie Brockbank with a touch. Desperation time as 1 minute remains in regulation. Childers, Howard. Howard burns by Bruce, then pulls the brakes, goes toward the corner. He'll try and stall as long as she can. Childers back to Howard. Howard winds up and boots this one high. About 30 seconds left for Utah Valley, trying to find the desperation equalizer. Can they do it? Crowd behind their feet.
Yeah, unsure of why Davis is taking so long with the goal kick.
Ten seconds left in regulation. And that missed kick will probably do it for Utah Valley. UMKC continues their dominance in conference play. Their undefeated streak continues as they defeat Utah Valley. Final score 1-0 here in Orem, Utah. And Utah Valley will now jump on a plane and head out to Grand Canyon on Sunday. That will be at 12 p.m. And that is no easy task either.
No, going to Grand Canyon, playing at Grand Canyon is definitely a tough task. They're a great team, especially for their second year of being eligible for the conference tournament. They're ready to come out and win the conference tournament, and they are an aggressive team with a great fan basis who always brings their A game and makes it a tough task to play at home. So, like, as much pride as UVU takes in Clydefield, it's just as hard competing at Grand Canyon.
Well, you have to tip your caps off to UMKC, Coach Sissel and company. Whatever they're doing it right, and they continue their dominance one step closer to clinching and to becoming the regular season WAC Conference champions. Your final score from Orem, 1-0 UMKC on top of the Wolverines from Utah Valley. For all of our hardworking staff and crew, for Clint Berge, Jared Sumption, for Juan Flores Mena, for Melanie Osler, I'm Brandon Crow saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah.